Oh, we all knew this time would come. It was less a question of will it, and more a question of when will it. But as of next year, March 2023, the Wii U and 3DS eShops will be no more. And that sucks, because so much of the integrity and legacy of these systems is tied to these digital marketplaces. And to be transparent, the 3DS will suffer a lot more. And we'll cover the 3DS in a separate video, so watch out for that. But the Wii U is still losing a lot. Not only from the digital marketplace, but many physical games will be lesser without the eShop. So I guess without further ado, let's dive in, and maybe help you reflect and find some hidden gems you may have missed. So take it away, Editing John.
Hey, that's me!
Man, the Wii U eShop's like a frozen point in time. The last thing it's advertising is Final Fantasy 15 Minecraft. But there's always something so cozy about surfing these eShops, and that's primarily the music. They'll sometimes shuffle up the theme depending on the season, so at Christmas it's all like this. Whereas other times it would be like this. You can get me to buy anything with a groovy theme. The Wii U holds a lot of good memories for me. It obviously wasn't a commercial success, but it housed some of Nintendo's most interesting experiments ever, and debuted some of their best games ever. Games like Tropical Freeze may have a better and new life on the Switch, but they started here. But they also did brilliant things for preservation, and that started with the original Wii. Not only was it backwards compatible with GameCube, but through the Wii Shop channel, it was basically backwards compatible with everything. We lost a lot when the Wii Shop channel went down. Mountains of incredible Virtual Console games, many of which still haven't been re-released in any capacity. Completely original games like Contra Rebirth and Final Fantasy The Crystal Chronicles My Life as a King and Lost Winds, all gone. And now it's happening again. Just like Wii U is also losing all its Virtual Console, and while you likely have methods to play some of them, there are others where Wii U either came with new features, or in some cases they're pretty much impossible to play anywhere but Wii U. Duck Hunt, for example. This was built specifically for the NES Zapper, and for that reason the Wii Virtual Console never got this game. This is no longer just a simple version of Duck Hunt, this is Duck Hunt with Wii Remote controls. Wild Gunman did the same thing. It's not just that these games weren't playable anywhere but the NES, but they required not only the Zapper, but a CRT TV as well. This was major for preserving them, and now, it's being taken away. We also had Super Mario Bros. 3 on Game Boy Advance, and I'm sure you can hack this stuff in emulators, but this was the first official time they released all the e-reader levels. The Virtual Console version comes with every single level unlocked. This includes not only regional exclusive cards, but cards that were never even sold or printed. So that's 38 brand new Super Mario Bros. 3 levels that most people probably haven't ever touched. And not only are they brand new levels, but they're super interesting levels too. They bend in and mix all the mechanics across the Mario Advance series, so you've got things like turnip plucking from Mario 2, or the cape from Mario World. It's basically a brand new Mario game sitting under your nose, and there's some brilliant stuff in there. With the DS Virtual Console, they kinda preserve some online features in certain games. Now, the Virtual Console doesn't magically bring these games back to life, but it does preserve some features that required online. Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon had an online store on DS, but on Virtual Console, that online store is now an offline store. And in Animal Crossing Wild World, the method for changing Nook's store to Nookington's was changed. On DS you needed 240,000 bells and then for a friend to buy something from your store. But because that's largely impossible on Wii U, the friend requirement was gone. Then there's Drill Dozer. Now this game was finished for a European release back on GBA, but it was never printed, so this game was exclusive to America and Japan. Now, why that's noteworthy is the European version has localizations for French, German, Spanish, and Italian. So by taking down the eShop, Nintendo is saying, Germans can't play Drill Dozer. It sucks to lose all this stuff specifically enhanced for Wii U, and then just the mountains of everything else. Switch will probably get GBA games eventually, but right now it doesn't. And so the only ways you can officially buy Metroid Zero Mission and Fusion are just going away. Even Wii games are gonna suffer hard. They weren't brand new releases on Wii U, they're just kinda selling you a digital version of a Wii disc. But when Metroid Prime Trilogy came to the Wii U eShop, it made the physical market so much healthier. This thing was going for way over £100 on eBay, but Nintendo are charging £18 on the eShop. Suddenly, even the physical version lost its value. Now, Metroid Dread did make Metroid games creep up again, so it's no longer a cheap game, but still, digital versions maintain some kind of price standard, and if they're vanishing, physical prices will reflect that, for all games. 3DS, Wii U, Wii, GBA, DS, they're all gonna suck to collect for, and many games will be left incomplete. Xenoblade Chronicles X is one of the system's best games, and if you don't have it already, you are going to need to. This game is much worse without stuff you need to download. Basically, the game just runs worse on a disc, and to combat this, Nintendo released data packs. These take up around 10 gigabytes of space, and they basically make the game run faster and load faster. So, if this game never gets ported, then future generations will simply have a lesser time than we did. I mean, they're free to download, but even free games will be unobtainable. Any app, any free game will still be unobtainable. If you don't do this soon, Xenoblade X will always run worse for you. And then we have Sonic Lost Worlds, Zelda and Yoshi DLC, which isn't on the disc. There was a PC mod for this recently, but at least officially, this is your final chance for Sonic to get the Triforce. And you know what? This Zelda level's outright one of the best showcases for this game's mechanics. It's better than anything from the main game. And God, Smash! When Sony were originally taking down the PSN store, which thankfully they didn't, I panicked and bought all the PlayStation All-Stars DLC, and I don't even like that game much. But if there were to ever come a time when my friends come over and they say to me, "Hey John, can we play PlayStation All-Stars, but specifically with Isaac from Dead Space and Zeus from God of War?" I would have broke down because I can't fulfill that! And sure, with Smash, all the DLC technically lives on with Ultimate. But Smash Bros. Ultimate is not Smash Bros. Wii U. They are mechanically different. Cloud in Smash Wii U is not Cloud in Ultimate. And there are stages still exclusive to Wii U, like Woolly World and the DKC Return stage. And if you don't have these characters, then Ryu will never step foot in Miiverse. Are you okay with that? I'm for sure not. This is a significant part of the franchise's history that's about to become lost to anyone who doesn't already have it. And that's never happened before with Smash. Games like Melee still live on years later, but that can't really happen with this. Suddenly Smash Wii U and 3DS will be incomplete for a lot of people. And even if you have it and your system dies, you've lost it. Now, in terms of digital-only games, Nintendo didn't go too wild with Wii U. That was more of a 3DS thing, and that's unfortunately gonna suffer a lot, especially because 3DS is also preserving DSiWare. But Wii U still had some really good stuff. Pull Blocks, or Pushmo as is known in America, was one of my favourite things to come out of this generation. 3DS got 3 different installments, whereas Wii U got a bigger version of the first game, but with unique puzzles. You basically just pull out blocks and try and get your way to the top of a tower, but it gets increasingly complex. Now, Pull Blocks always had user-generated content, but on 3DS it was only shared via QR codes, and that was kinda lame at the time, but also a saving grace now. But when it first released, the Wii U's Pull Blocks world had a level sharer within the game. This was a big deal because while the QR codes were functional, finding them was very external. You've got to go out of your way and find someone actually sharing it online. So this was massive, and the interface was even better than Mario Maker. I mean, there was a search bar. I know that's not a high bar, but still, it was good. But I'm speaking in the past tense because all of this was tied to Miiverse. Yeah, level sharing died a while ago. So while QR codes were a bit more lame, they at least still work. Still, Pull Blocks World is a really nice HD sequel to one of 3DS's best games. It's an absolute must-buy. Another must-buy is NES Remix 1 and 2, but thankfully these were printed onto a disc, outside of Europe. Europe got the 3DS NES Remix Ultimate, but the Wii U version stayed digital only. But even if it did release physically in your region, you probably want to pick this one up before it gets crazy expensive, because it probably will, because it already is here. Why is it so expensive? Now, I've adored the developer Sheenan ever since they defied what WiiWare was capable of by putting games like this on a 40 megabyte limit. So of course when Fast Racing Neo got a physical release, I had to support them. And yeah, Nintendo eShop Selects. I wouldn't be surprised if you've never heard of that. This was an ongoing branding that consisted of 2 games. One was a double pack for SteamWorld Dig and SteamWorld Heist, which is thankfully on many platforms, and the other was this. Fast Racing Neo did pretty much get an enhanced and expanded version on Switch with Fast RMX, but there's still a lot to love about this version, especially because there's a physical release. And how could you live with yourself if you don't pick up the Mario vs Donkey Kong games? Now, Tipping Stars pretends to have a physical release, but really it's just a code in a box, and this will be irredeemable come late March 2023. They're like little Lemmings-esque games where you shift parts of the environment and guide the mini Marios to the end. There's also a level editor in this, giving it a lot more value. It's fine. But then there's Mini Mario and Friends, and you may as well download this game right now, even if you don't care about these games, because it's free. Let me try that again. Free! It's an amiibo game. You scan an amiibo, and you unlock some levels. Mario can do wall jumps, Peach can float, and Yoshi can eat enemies. Now, I'll say the same thing to you that I say to strangers in the streets. Be wary of Star Fox Guard. I don't think it's rare, but there are two retail versions. One with a disc that came with Star Fox Zero Special Edition, and another with a code in a box. And again, this will be irredeemable come next year. It is only £12 on the eShop, and I can see this one becoming a bit more expensive in time, but it has pretty much always been cheap. And it's also worth getting Star Fox Zero The Battle Begins Plus Training. It's a completely free download and has the cool Star Fox Zero 40-minute animation. Do you remember that? And you also get a little training demo. Wii Sports Club was always one that confused people. This was a remake of Wii Sports in HD with Motion Plus and online play, but many people think you can only rent the sports for a few days and that's it. And that's not the case, that's just one option. You can buy the sports outright individually, and it even got a physical print with all the sports. But the physical version isn't exactly cheap, and it's probably going to get even more expensive because of Switch Sports. But affordable space adventures! This is legit one of the best examples of how you can use the Wii U gamepad. It basically becomes your pilot dashboard, so all the action's happening on the TV, but you have a lot of depth and input to navigate on the gamepad. It's a crazy good feeling of unity, and the game's just so goddamn clever. Don't sleep on this one. Dr Luigi! Nintendo have put Dr. Mario on every platform they've ever made apart from the Virtual Boy and the Switch. I mean, the GameCube only had a port of Dr. Mario 64 through Nintendo Puzzle Collection, but it was a native port. It kinda counts. Where is the Switch's Dr. Mario? Because there's no Switch Dr. Mario, people are still playing. As in right now, Dr. Luigi. These HD L-shaped pills are leaving us, and I'm frankly ready to lash out. Take down the entire eShop? Fine. Take Luigi's doctorate? No way, buddy. You already took Goomba stacks. This is too far. Do you remember Pokemon Rumble U? No. Yeah, you do! Look at this! You don't need them to play, but there's 23 little figures to collect, and I've always kind of liked this style, the low-poly Pokemon Ranch and Rumble art style. Rumble U was the Wii U's first Pokemon game, and man did it take advantage of... But with the series as big as Pokemon, losing an entry to time is a big deal. Fans probably should get this one, and all 23 figures. Project Zero Maiden of Blackwater may have recently got released on a bunch of other platforms, but those versions suck! Because they don't have Zelda and Samus costumes. Wii U always wins, baby. Actually, in Europe, we got a very limited retail version, although you can act like this doesn't exist because it's fairly expensive, and when I say fairly, I mean it's very expensive. This is a Wii U eShop game primarily. I also had a good time with Art Academy Sketchpad over the years. The company who made these games don't seem to really be around anymore, but the Wii U gamepad gave you a really sizable canvas to make some cool stuff. Here's my parents' dog. And I actually didn't know this, but this game got completely delisted when a premium version came out. This premium one came on a disc, so you can still play Art Academy on the Wii U, but the cheap sketchpad is unfortunately lost to time, so I hope that this segment was helpful to anyone. It's good that a bunch of these Wii U to Switch ports preserve the DLC in games like Pikmin and Mario Kart and Hyrule Warriors, because otherwise they'll be completely lost to time, but man, we're still losing a lot. Yeah, the pool of digital exclusive games is relatively small, but many games will flat out be left incomplete, and others will feel drastic damage in the second-hand market. Games like Game & Wario, they're already going for way more than they have any right to, but now imagine that without any digital alternative. This is just the start. So, this entire situation just sucks. Hopefully I've put some games on your radar, and you can pick them up at the last minute and enjoy them. But the worst part is, even if you go ahead and buy all these legally, and fill in the gaps you've missed, there's a chance that one day, you'll press the Wii U power button, and it just won't turn on. All the investment, all the time, energy and money, will be for nothing if that happens one day. And that's terrifying. All this content will be legally lost. All these games just gone. And I can't fathom why they would do that. Obviously, there are business terms for why that would happen, but just for respecting the legacy and your consumers, this is a horrible move, and it's unacceptable. Sony were doing the same thing with the PlayStation 3 and the Vita and the PSP, but they backed down because of our demand. And hopefully, there's a slither of a chance Nintendo will too. But I don't expect that to happen. Hopefully, that ages very poorly. Please let me be on this Twitter for that one thing. I'm okay with that.